Hi students, in previous class we discussed about the biogas plant. That means microbes used in biogas, and also we studied about the microbes in the sewage water treatment. The microbes, whatever used in the sewage water treatment we studied. In biogas plant, the bacteria are involved. Methanogenic bacteria. This methanogenic bacteria is degrade the organic material present in the tank and it synthesizes the gobar gas. Because of that, energy crisis in our country is solved. So this biogas plant technique was developed by the KVIC and the biogas technique was developed by Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Indian Agricultural Research Institute. Indian Agricultural Research Institute and Khadi Village Industry Commission. Khadi and Village Industries Commission. These two organizations are put efforts in India to develop the biogas plant, and it is given some awareness about the biogas plant to the people living in India. By that we can reduce the crisis of energy in India. So at least the farmers use their land, cattle land for the production of the biogas. Now today's topic is microbes as a biocontrol. Microbes as a biocontrol agents. Actually, diseases are caused by, or pests are caused by some microbes, some flies, some insects, some rodents, some bacteria. So these bacteria, fungi, virus, whatever it is, causes diseases in the crops, are killed by using pesticides, pesticides. So these pesticides are sprayed on crop to kill these different disease causing pathogens. Now, to kill the weeds, we can use weedicides. Weeds in the unwanted weeds in the crop can be killed by weedicides. And insects are killed by insecticides. Fungicides. Fungus are killed by using the fungicides. And bacteriocides. By killing bacteria, these bacteriocides kill the bacteria. And rodenticides. It kills the rat and the mice. Like that, different chemicals we use, different pesticides we use to kill the different pathogenic organisms. If we use these chemicals rapidly or increased value, they create some disturbance to the atmosphere and also to the human body. Whenever these chemicals are used rapidly, the remnants of these chemicals are left on the products of the plant. Thereby, they enter into the human body or animal body, they damage the organs. So that where the alternative method is developed to control these disease causing pathogens, those are called as biocontrol agents. In this biocontrol agent, we can use some bacteria, some flies, some viruses, some fungi we use to kill these pathogenic organisms. Instead of using chemicals, we use these microbes or these organisms to control the disease causing pathogens. Then we can reduce the usage of the chemicals in the field and also reduce the pollution in the atmosphere, and we can save the lives of the people and also reduce the cost in the agriculture. So, such a biocontrol agents are used to control the pathogenic organism which cause diseases in the crops. So there are two types: bioherbicide and bioinsecticides. Bioherbicide and bioinsecticides. Bioherbicides. Bioinsecticides. Usually to kill the herbs, to kill the unwanted herbs, unwanted plants, unwanted weeds, we use some weedicides. Weedicide or herbicide. This is also called as a weedicide. So these weedicides kill the herbs and weeds in the plant, in the crop, unwanted weeds in the crop. Nearly 500 types of weedicide, chemical weedicides are available in the market. In that, 2,4-D, 2,4,5-T, 2,4,5-T, Dalpan, Trisis. So 2,4-D means 2,4-hydrox. 2,4-D means 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. 2,4,5-trichlorophenoxyacetic acid. And Dalpan and Trisis. These are all chemicals used to kill the weeds in the crops. Those are cereal crop weeds. So especially dicotyledon broad-leaved weeds. If we use rapidly these chemicals left on the plants and they create disturbance to the people and also they create pollute in the atmosphere. So that alternative method of biocontrol agents are developed by the scientists. Those are one of the first weedicide is developed by the scientist, that is called as, that is a fungi. Mycoherbicide. First mycoherbicide was developed. Petaphthora palmivora. This Petaphthora palmivora kill the milkweeds in citrus orchards. It controls the milkweeds in citrus orchards. This is the first mycoherbicide. Myco means it is a fungal herbicide. It is a fungi. Petaphthora palmivora is a fungi. This fungal herbicide, mycoherbicide, developed in 1961. First time it is developed. And this mycoherbicide kill the milkweeds in citrus orchard. And also using some alternative technique, recombinant DNA technology. By recombinant DNA technology, scientists are developed transgenic plants. Using the rDNA technology. Transgenic plants are developed, means genetically modified plants are developed. These genetically modified plants are killing or protect from the herbicides. So using the herbicide resistant gene is collected from the wild organisms. That gene is introduced into the crop plant directly, and it is modified with that resistant against the weeds. That is called the transgenic. Such a way, a new technology used to develop the herbicide resistant varieties. Instead of using chemical, if we grow those herbicide resistant plant or this biocontrol agent, we cannot get any harm and which cannot create any pollution to the atmosphere. So this is about the bioherbicide. Next, bioinsecticides. To kill the insects, we use insecticides. These insecticides kill the insect and also create the pollution to the atmosphere, and also the chemicals enter into the body through the products of enter into the human body through the products of the plants. So that the alternative method of controlling insect in the crop is developed. Those are biocontrol agents. Instead of using the insecticide, if we use use some beetles, some insects, some bacteria, we can control the insects. So, ladybird beetle, ladybird beetle, ladybird beetle, red and black markings on the body. This kill the aphids in the plants. Aphids are killed by this ladybird beetle. It is a one of the insect or fly. Insect or fly. So this fly control the aphids instead of using the insecticide or chemical. Next, dragonflies are used to kill the mosquitoes in the field. Dragonflies used to kill the mosquitoes. Such a way, we can use some biological agent, biocontrol agent to kill these aphids and mosquitoes. And also, some transgenic plants are developed by genetically modified plants. Transgenic plants are developed by introducing Bacillus thuringiensis. It is a bacteria, rod-shaped bacteria. This bacterial gene, which is present inside the body, is introduced into the plants, and then it protect the insect. It kill the insect. Such a way, some transgenic plant or genetically modified plants are developed. Actually, this Bacillus thuringiensis bacterial spores, generally what farmers do in the field, this Bacillus thuringiensis spores are sprayed on plants. These Bacillus thuringiensis spores get developed as bacteria, and these get shelter on the crop plants. When any insect or fly comes to the crop to damage the crop, this Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria enter into the body of the insect. This bacteria enter into the insect body or gut or digestive system and release one protein that is called as a crystalline protein or cryprotein. This cryprotein enter into the insect gut or digestive system. This enter into the digestive system and make some pores in the digestive system or digestive tract and damage the digestive system. Due to that, entire body gets swell. Finally, it will die. Such a way, without using insecticide, by using the Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, we can kill the insect, whatever it is showing effect on the plants. So, using this Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, a transgenic plants are developed. Using this principle, by collecting the crystalline gene, the gene which is responsible for the synthesis of crystalline protein by the Bacillus thuringiensis. The gene is collected from this Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, and it is introduced into the crop plants. that is incorporated into the crop plant by the rDNA technology, recombinant DNA technology. By using rDNA technology, for example, this is one gene. That gene is introduced into the plant at the time of development in tissue culture method or any other method, genetic engineering method. This gene is introduced into this plant. So because of this introduction, this plant is genetically modified. That means this plant has a resistance against the insect because of this gene. When the insect come to suck the juice or to damage the leaves, the gene which is present in the leaves or plant is directly enter into the insect and kill the insect by releasing crystalline protein. It enter into the gut and it kill the insect. Thereby the crop is protected from these insects. So such a way naturally some transgenic plants are developed against these insects. These are BT cotton, BT tomato, like a different transgenic plants are there. So this is about the bioinsecticide which are used as a biological control, and trichoderma fungi. A fungi trichoderma is fungi grown in the soil, which is a saprophytic fungi. It is a soil bacteria. Soil fungi which grow on dead matter. It is a saprophytic fungi. When it is grown in the soil or fields of the farmer, this trichoderma has some viruses, baculoviruses, nucleopolyhedroviruses. So these two viruses are extensively used in the crop field to kill some insect. Potato beetles, maize borers, and maize borers. When we use these baculoviruses in the crop, which cannot create any harm to the other pathogenic organisms. These are species specific biocontrols. These baculoviruses and nucleopolyhedroviruses (NPVs) show some effect on the specific species and protect the crops. So those are potato beetle and maize borers, aphids, and carnivore and aphids. Carnivore or maize borers are same. Potato beetles and maize borer and aphids. Such a way the viruses are used in the protecting some crops. This is about the bioinsecticide and bioherbicide. So next, microbes as a biofertilizer. Biofertilizer. Usually we apply some fertilizer to the field. We give some fertilizer to the field like nitrogen, phosphorus, urea, like that. If we use this phosphorus, nitrogen, artificial chemical fertilizers, it provides the nutrients to the crop, and also it increase the salinity in the soil, thereby it unfit for the next crop. Because of the salinity, because of the rapid usage of the chemical fertilizer, the salinity of the soil is increases, thereby it is unfit for the growth of plants in next coming season. Because of that, we need to go for alternative sources of fertilizer. Biofertilizer we can use, or some microbes are used for the fixing atmospheric nitrogen in the form of nitrogenous compounds. So those are first rhizodium as a symbiotic association of the legume. So rhizodium as a symbiotic association with legumes. Leguminous plant. Rhizodium leguminesarum bacteria. Rhizodium leguminesarum bacteria is a soil bacteria. This soil bacteria fix the atmospheric nitrogen in the form of nitrogenous compounds. And provide the nitrogen to the crop directly. Instead of using nitrogen containing fertilizer, if we grow this rhizodium in the field, we get the sufficient amount of the nitrogen. So this rhizodium plants get shelter this is a legume plant root. This legume plant root has a root, small root, secondary and tertiary roots they have. So like that roots are there. In these roots, it is associated with the plant. This rhizodium gets shelter in the plant root and make some root nodules. A pink color root nodules are formed on the surface of the roots. That means this rhizodium leguminesarum getting shelter in the roots. So here the plant is giving shelter to the roots. The rhizodium bacteria fix the atmospheric nitrogen as in the form of nitrogenous compound and provide the nitrogen to the plant. Such a way both the organisms are getting benefited here. The associate, so that this association is called as a symbiotic association. Actually this bacteria is a soil bacteria. This is a soil bacteria. In this soil, this rhizodium is present. This rhizodium get enter into the cortex of the roots and finally get shelter in the cortex of the root and rapidly multiply and form a structure that is a root nodule. So this root nodule is in pink color because they synthesize one pigment that is called as leg hemoglobin. And also
they have a gene, NIF gene. This NIF gene synthesizes the nitrogenase enzyme. Nitrogenase enzyme. This nitrogenase enzyme is used for the nitrogen fixation. This atmospheric nitrogen, in atmosphere nitrogen is in the form of N2. This atmospheric nitrogen is taken by the Rhizobium legumiноsa or the soil bacteria and convert the nitrogen as in the form of some compounds and stored in the roots and stores in the soil. Presence of enzyme nitrogenase. Then what is the use of this leghemoglobin? This leghemoglobin is a pink color pigment synthesized in the root nodules of the rhizobium, right? Root nodules of the rhizobium. It creates some anaerobic conditions. Anaerobic conditions. It creates some anaerobic conditions. That means this leghemoglobin is used as a scavenger for oxygen. It scavenges the oxygen, it consumes the oxygen and create the anaerobic condition. These anaerobic conditions are required for the fixing of nitrogen. Such a way, nitrogen is given naturally to the plants instead of using any chemical fertilizer. If we grow this Rhizobium legumiноsa or bacteria in the field, per acre, if we grow, it give 100 to 150 kgs of the nitrogen to the crop. Some amount of nitrogen is left in the soil and some amount of nitrogen is taken by this plant and then it grow rapidly. So this soil nitrogen, whatever it is fixed in the soil, nitrogen whatever it is fixed inside, that is used for the next coming crop. Such a way, Rhizobium legumiноsa or bacteria, Rhizobium legumiноsa or soil bacteria, provide the nitrogen to the plant naturally. So this is about the symbiotic association with the legume. But some of the plants, some of the bacteria are loosely associated with the plant and then provide the nitrogen. Loose association of nitrogen fixing bacteria. Next concept in this topic. Loose association of nitrogen fixing bacteria. Loose association of nitrogen fixing bacteria. Nitrogen fixing bacteria. So here the bacteria is associated with the plant roots. Directly it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen and provide to the plant. So here what happens? So one of the bacteria, Azospirillum lipophyllum, is associated with the roots of Azospirillum lipiforum. It is a bacteria associated with the roots of Brazilian grasses. Then this bacteria provide the nitrogen to these Brazilian grasses. Weizsäckerichia is a bacteria is loosely associated with the sugarcane plant and provide the nitrogen to the sugarcane plants. Such a way, some bacteria are loosely associated with the plant, thereby they provide the nitrogen to the crops. So, Azospirillum lentiforum bacteria associated with the roots of the Brazilian grasses. Weizsäckerichia is associated with the sugarcane plant and provide the nitrogen to the plant. Next, Azotobacter pastori. Azotobacter pastori. So this Azotobacter pastori is associated with the Passpali notatum. Passpali notatum plant and provide the nitrogen to the plants. So this is a loose association of nitrogen fixing bacteria. And free living bacteria. Next concept is free living bacteria. Free living bacteria. So these free living bacteria like Azotobacter. This Azotobacter bacteria, Bacillus polymyxo. These bacteria are grown in the field freely. It fixes the atmospheric nitrogen and store that nitrogen in the form of compounds in the soil. When we grow the crops in this field, that nitrogen directly taken by the plant and it grows properly. So this is about the Azotobacter and the Bacillus polymyxo. Cyanobacteria as a nitrogen fixer. You studied some cyanobacteria in the first year. Blue-green algae. Anamina, Nostoc, Oscillatoria. These are the algae or some cyanobacteria. Nearly 40 types of cyanobacteria are present. These 40 types of cyanobacteria are used in developing nitrogen in the fields. Actually, they have a thick cell wall cells. They have thick cells in their filament. Those are called as heterocysts. These heterocysts fix the atmospheric nitrogen and stored in their body. So actually these grow in the soil. So when these heterocysts filled with the nitrogen, then the nitrogen is given to the field. So this Anamina, Nostoc, Oscillatoria are extensively used by IARI, Indian Agricultural Research Institute, to provide a sufficient amount of nitrogen to the crops. Such a way, cyanobacteria are involved in the providing nitrogen. So next, mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza. So these mycorrhiza are called as a fungus roots. Mycorrhiza. These are called as a fungus roots. Some group of fungi together called as a glomus. Some group of of genus fungi called as globus. These globus is associated with the roots. Associated with the roots of some higher plants. For example, this is a root. This is a root. This is a root. This root is covered by the fungal mycelium. So, interwoven fungal mycelium is associated with the root of some higher plants. Now, so that they are called as a mycorrhiza or fungus roots. This fungi directly collect the nitrogen and phosphorus and provide the nitrogen and phosphorus from the soil and provide the nitrogen to this root from soil. So these are called as mycorrhiza. This mycorrhiza is a two types. Ectomycorrhiza, endomycorrhiza, endomycorrhiza. Ectomycorrhiza means which is associated with the external part of the root, only the external part of the root or outer surface of the root, and collect the nitrogen phosphorus from the soil and provide the nitrogen to the root. That is called as ectomycorrhiza, outer surface of root, outer surface of root. Endomycorrhiza is this endomycorrhiza. The fungal mycelium is penetrated into the root, inside the root. The fungal mycelium is penetrated into the roots and collect the nitrogen phosphorus from the soil, directly provide the nitrogen to the root inside. But ectomycorrhiza is present on the surface of the root, only present on the external surface of the root and provide the nitrogen to this root. But this endomycorrhiza is deeply penetrated into the root. The mycelium threads deeply penetrate into the roots and then collect the nitrogen from the soil and provide the nitrogen phosphorus to this plant. Example, Pinus. So in Pinus we can see the mycorrhiza. Such a way the microbes are used as a biofertilizer. So this is about today's class. Thank you.